do this. Welcome back. We got a fun episode today because
This is fun.
we are just talking about ourselves. We're going to be a little egotistic. No, I'm just kidding.
We're kind of just chilling. We're having a brewski. I'll be real. And today's topic is really like what it's like to run a wheel company.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like kind of crazy to think back. It's like obviously being a part of like fitment industries and stuff for a few years, you know, the idea of like starting our own, you know, wheel brand or wheel company was always out there. And when it finally happened, it was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, it's about time. We got to do this. But like looking back at it now, like as like an outside perspective, like starting your own wheel company sounds insane.
It does sound crazy.
And, you know, obviously to anyone watching this, it's like, dang, how do you even go about doing that? Because, you know, I've always wondered that. How do you go about doing that? And actually being able to go through that, and especially the time that we did it, which we'll touch on. I mean, yeah, it is crazy,
so
and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
There's an easy way, and there's a hard way.
We chose the hard way.
We chose extra. Like, we go through difficulty.
Veteran. It's like you have to complete hard and then go to veteran.
I'm pretty sure we went to legendary.
Legendary?
Because we chose directional and lightweight.
Yeah.
And durable and look good.
Yes.
And specific fitments for certain chassis.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So it's I know you look at it, we're a wheel company. If you don't know anything about us, you might just think wheels are wheels, but like we didn't just go and make reps of stuff and make them as heavy
as much as people would like to think that and see it in the comments. And stuff
watch
like
my video on Fitment Industries. Talk about that.
No, so yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot that, like you said, that we took into consideration when we were like, yeah, let's make our own wheel brand. Because like we could have went the super easy route and just been like, yeah, we're just going to do cast wheels, sell them for $700 and order a ton of them and sell them like crazy. And it doesn't matter what they look like or how they perform, as long as we can sell them. You know, it's like that. From a business aspect, yeah, you could go do that and make a good amount of money on it, but that's not at the end of the day what we were about. We wanted to make wheels that we thoroughly enjoyed and would buy as
put on our own cars,
enthusiasts, and put them on our own cars.
Speaking of that, what's going on with the BMW?
The BMW?
Yeah, aren't you putting some wheels on that thing?
Yeah, hopefully.
Did you get tires for it?
I'm waiting on tires yet.
What? Did you get Michelin's by any chance?
I did, yeah.
They're over at 89.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Let's go. They're here. Okay. Now I'm just waiting on our own wheels to show up.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. No, they should.
Oh, there's some on the wall. Just
I know. Right. Maybe just grab some, but no, they should be here soon. But yeah, that thing's gonna go through a little transformation here soon. It's got some Michelin Pilot Sport AS4s.
Yeah.
Super excited for those.
It was funny. They came in and someone was like, "Whoa, who got these? These are really nice."
Yeah.
Like Alex Jelena. Oh, that's gels.
Let's go.
I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I'm super excited for that. I love Michelin tires. And so they're going to be putting on some Anovia Elders, and then got some BC coils for it. So just a nice little modification to the daily, and it should be fun.
That'd be sweet.
I like driving the car, but it's just like, it's boring. It's
it looks like a stock BMW.
Yeah.
It's super clean.
Traffic.
That's the only nice thing. Like, it is stock, but it's super clean.
I can't believe I found that thing the way I did. It's like 46,000 miles, one owner, BMW.
That's crazy.
Like, that thing's clean.
You gotta now you have to keep it that clean though.
I know.
You're like the caretaker.
Especially for like a 2011, I was like, dang.
Yeah, that person loved that car.
Yeah, they did.
I know we're gonna get into a wheel company thing. We usually talk about what we're working on. We worked on your car this weekend.
Yeah, we're finally finding some things.
Well, we
say the least.
We also didn't find some things that should have been there. So, all right, I want to talk to you guys about something. So your engine on a car is
what about it?
Sitting in the car,
yes.
And there's these things called motor mounts that help hold it in there.
Oh, okay.
And on those motor mounts, there's usually a rod where you put a nut on to keep everything tight.
Like a bolt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gels didn't have those nuts. Or not. Well, no, you had one.
One was gone, and the other one was
loose.
halfway gone.
Yeah. So fix that problem.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then
almost electrocuted myself.
Gels almost electrocuted himself. He almost started his car on himself. And
forewarning, those are the S13s. If you have to change working on the passenger side motor mount, there's a starter right there, and wrenches,
an open connection.
Yeah, and wrenches. When they hit that, things happen.
We also found your clunking sound.
Yep.
Which was just a bad
sway bar end link.
Which super cheap. I think all in the stuff we found wrong with the car to fix is like way less than $50.
Yeah, honestly. We just gotta re-tap that one hole for the e-brake handle.
Oh yeah.
I need to figure out how to get those spacers off the front since they seem to be welded on there. But yeah, 18s in the front help make the clearance for the bumper. We made that custom bracket for the bumper. It actually works really good.
Custom was pretty generous. We cut a piece of angle iron.
Hey, it worked.
It's custom.
It's custom.
Yeah, it's custom.
It didn't come on the car, right? I mean,
Yeah, I even cut it straight.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And we didn't have like a workbench or anything. We just like cut it off the end of a table.
I wasn't use safety glasses though. That was funny.
Like I feel air
Yeah,
on my eyes.
I started spinning the cutoff wheel, and I just felt the air from it hitting my face. And I was like, wait a minute.
Something's not.
I need safety glasses.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't really work on my stuff at all. I actually just worked on.
You've been helping us work on our stuff.
Yep. I worked on a lot of S chassis.
Did the
the past
alignment?
weekends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should have just taken a car for a test drive because we would have known that. But we'll get that fixed up in a jiffy.
Yeah, it does feel better. It's just
we probably just didn't. Now they're aligned. They're just pointed the wrong way. So yeah, we'll.
I guess I just evenly adjust.
Yep, we just like boop, turn them over. I just worked on cleaning my garage, organizing stuff. And I still have to do that because Joe's cleaned his whole life up, basically.
Been trying.
And your garage looks really nice. My garage didn't look as nice, and it's stressing me out because I'm at a point right now. I'm kind of waiting on parts.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, if I'm waiting on parts to come in, I can at least organize my whole garage, and that has turned into a giant project.
Yes.
That I have not gotten done.
Yeah, I made the mistake of trying to do that during the week because I'm like,
yeah,
if I'm just lazy, like it's just never gonna get done. So I'm like, hey, it's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. Might as well do this. Bad mistake. It turned into like a 10 p.m. project.
Yeah, I spent
all my stuff was like out in the driveway, and it's like pitch black out, and people are walking by like, "What the hell is that gonna do?" People probably thought my wife kicked me out.
That's true.
Like, just all my stuff is out in the front yard.
That'd be bad.
My neighbors are looking like
Jelski will live in his other garage because he's got a whole compound.
Could, yeah.
So should we talk about what it's like to run a wheel company?
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
So I wasn't here for this, but Jelski,
but was I?
What was it? Yeah, you were. What was it like to get the idea and start it?
So honestly, it was interesting because I was new to it, very new to it. There was a few people that we had that weren't as new to it. So, if you look at Custom Offsets, they have their own wheel company, Archon, which launched, I would say, about a year or so before, at the time, Artisa did. So we had some people that have gone through all of this. So we kind of had like the right stepping stones to like kind of follow.
You knew the base of it.
Right. Like, okay, yeah, don't go down that path that leads to a bad dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, go this path leads to good.
Loot.
Yeah. So you kind of had like the map to follow. But car wheels are entirely different.
We figured out it's way different
from truck wheels. And I think we knew that going in. I knew that going in. Alex knew that going in.
I think you guys knew it a bit,
yeah,
but not to the degree of how different the markets really are.
Yeah. It's like, I knew there was a lot more to take into consideration. Like, I mean, really, you look at like the truck wheel side of things, rep isn't a term. Like, that's just not a thing. Unless you get like those guys with like the forces and stuff that like, they swear by their $20,000 truck wheels that they spent their life savings on. I would probably feel pretty proud of a $20,000 set of wheels too. But so I get it. But yeah, like the term like rep just isn't thrown around. You can make whatever the hell wheel you want. Like no diss on the truck wheel industry, but like you can literally make whatever the hell you want, and as long as it's black and milled, it's gonna sell.
And the sizing and offset is way different. Like negative
completely.
84 offset.
Yeah. You can just make like one size, offer it in 10 bolt patterns, and you're good to go. It's like you can't so many things come into factor when you're talking about car wheels because it's like, okay, not only does bolt pattern affect it, but it's like, okay, what cars have those bolt patterns? What sizes are those cars running? What offset are those cars running?
It's so much more specific.
How much brake clearance do you need on those cars? There's so much more that goes into it. So yeah, it was 2019. We were kind of sitting around, like we kind of start to plan out like the next year. We literally lock ourselves in a room. It's like a 4-hour meeting. It's a great time, kind of looking at like what are the big tactics we want to do for next year. And I think it finally came down for Fitment Industries. Like, I think it's time we start our own wheel brand. We're like, hell yeah, let's do it. So we started like these massive brainstorming sessions. It was like literally an open invite to the whole enterprise. Like, who wants to come help out?
Yeah.
We know we want to make car wheels. It started with like names. It started with like, what do we want to do? What kind of wheels are we going to make? Like what, style of stuff are we going to, what market are we going to, it's literally just, let's throw everything on a board and then start organizing.
Yep.
And we had, I would say, probably 2 to 3 of those meetings rolling in to that January and December. Into February is like, when we started really kind of narrowing down, like, okay, what's the team going to be? We had some people from Archon in there helping out. We were building out campaigns for stuff. We started we had like what we call like the war room. So we had like, references of like, this is what we could go down and like all that kind of stuff. And then this really cool thing happened.
Oh, wait, let me guess. Everyone got to work from home.
Yeah. For like a long time.
That sucked.
Like right as we were about, like literally it was March. It was my birthday weekend. It was like
happy birthday.
Yeah,
it
was literally Friday. I remember this.
Did you see it? Like I was working somewhere else at the time. Mm-hmm. Did you guys see this coming? Like probably having to work from home or whatever?
Yeah. So literally it was Friday before everything happened.
Yeah.
It was as we were wrapping up the day on Friday. We got the email from like Sean or Alex or someone who was like, hey, there's this crazy thing going on. A lot of people are possibly talking about shutting down their workplaces and, working remotely.
Yeah.
We think we're capable of doing that. Please build out like with our daily boards and stuff that we have, please build like a digital daily board just in case, and then pull your team together and just talk about like the possibility of working from home in the near future. And then we're talking like maybe weeks out. We showed up Monday morning. It was like 8:45 and we all got sent home.
Holy shit.
It was literally like Friday. We talked about like, maybe we should start.
To
Monday morning.
Things changed fast.
It was everyone get out. They pulled all the desks out. They sanitized everything. I remember if you went in, you had a glove up, mask up, like literally like hazmat suit because no one knew what was going on.
I remember we were washing groceries when we got back from the store.
Yes, and it was like we had to like schedule to come pick up our computers and our chairs. And it was like people that were like, we want you to have like your nice office chair at home.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a wild time. So it was like we were sitting at home and like obviously we're doing like the whole like Google calls and everything like that, and we're like we had the decision to make. It was like, what the hell do we do? Do we just wait? Like everything's shut down. Obviously, no one's gonna be able to make our wheels. What the hell do we do? And I think it was like a select 4 or 5 of us who were like, it was like me, Alex, Jared. God, I'm sorry if I can't remember who else was like really.
Was Connor
Connor was in it. Yeah, Connor was huge in like the branding side of it. Connor and Jared really did like the whole like branding
shout out
side
Connor, shout out Jared.
Yeah, because
those guys kill it.
They literally built like the image that Anovia is. And then a couple other people, but it was like, let's do it. Like what do we got to lose? It's like so literally like my day consisted of like, the 9 to 5 was working for Fitment Industries, filming videos in my garage, like, editing videos, making campaigns and stuff, and working at the computer. And then like from 5 to I'd say like 8 or 9, it was like, open up SolidWorks and let's see what kind of wheel this is. Because that's about the point where we're at. We kind of had like a name picked out. Connor and Jared were working on logos and like branding stuff.
Did you know what kind of wheels you wanted to make already?
In a sense, yeah. I think we kind of at the time had that narrowed down. And like the directional was like a big one because like that's something that we literally kind of took from Archon in a sense. It was like
super successful.
Yeah, it was super successful with Archon. And so we're like, let's do that. It worked for Archon, let's do that because we saw the same gap in the car side of wheels too. So that's what we went after, and that's why the original 5 were all directional. So I think each of us were kind of like tasked with a design. And it was a really rough start because it's like no one's designed wheels before.
Right.
Like I have a basic, mechanical design background, so I was able to work up stuff in SolidWorks and CAD and stuff to, make people's, designs that kind of come to life and show them like, hey, this is what it would actually be. And, to actually function as a wheel with a general understanding of engineering, here's how it is. And so we kind of just started like throwing designs at the wall, and I'd mock it up in SolidWorks, or I'd try out my hand at own designs. And then we ended up eventually coming out of that with the 5 models that we have now, which is the Knight, the Titan, the Carrier, the Kinetic, and the Elder. The Elder, funny enough, was actually the last wheel to be designed because we're like, all right, we're going to cap it out at 4. And Alex, I remember, was like, we should do one more.
Odd numbers are always better.
We should do one more. And it's just like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we should do one more just to kind of like as a wheel. It was meant to, in a sense, kind of be a backup wheel. It's just like, make it work for everything.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. And lo and behold, becomes our number one popular wheel. So that was the Elder, was the 5th one, and that was honestly like a final hour decision before like
that's crazy.
Orders and stuff were submitted to factories.
And it's crazy to think that now, because it is like by far and away our most popular wheel is being the Elder.
Absolutely, it comes in most sizes and everything. So
yeah.
So that was really the beginning of everything. So I mean, fast forward to we're back in house. I would say by the time we were back in office, which was end of June. Middle of June, maybe July. It was like sometime in the summer we were back in office. I would say that we were finalizing things. So we were finalizing like renders, we were finalizing packaging, because how much work we put into the freaking packaging.
I love seeing those unboxings though.
Oh, it's like, so great. It's my favorite part.
Trevor, when he does recent one, and he opens it up, like Promotion Auto TV, he opens it up, and he's like, whoa, this is cool, like this is cool. And it's rewarding to see that, because there's so much work I know you guys put into that.
So much time into that packaging. Again, shout out Connor for that, because that was all him, and like all the like the little hidden stuff in there, like the GPS coordinates and stuff like that, and super cool. So like that we really had to like build the story behind the brand, and why the name Artisa and the inspiration behind everything. And I would say by the time we were back, it was getting close to, I think we had like samples on the way already for us to look at, and I remember it was super cool being able to like see all those like samples come in and unveil them, and just like be like, holy shit, I designed that.
Yeah.
And it's
here,
and it's a real wheel. Like
I
can go put this on a car, and like just seeing like the team's face light up with like, holy shit, dude, we did this over like a quarantine, like a literally global pandemic, and we made it out of that, and we came out with a wheel company.
That's crazy.
Like it was absolutely crazy to think about.
Some people came out like 30 pounds heavier.
Oh, I definitely came out 30 pounds heavier.
And with a wheel company.
But yeah, that was the beginning of everything. And then I think that it was that summer that we placed the order for initial order. Obviously, we did a lot of research and like, okay, now we got to narrow down sizes, finishes that we're offering, place that initial order. How much are we ordering? Planning out like that next year, because we're like, okay, samples are here in summer. Probably going to launch at the end of the year. So for the 2021 year.
Yep.
Which we did.
So talk about the launch real quick. Because
the initial Artisa launch?
Very interesting, because we learned some things from that launch of what not to do.
So believe it or not, even though we were back in house, the world's still kind of a messed up place.
Dude, the world was fucked up. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, the world is still a fucked up place, and manufacturing and shipping to this day is still an absolute
Try
nightmare.
shipping something from across the ocean.
Yeah. It's horrible, especially containers with this stuff.
I don't have my Origin kit right now.
Yeah.
I ordered that in October. Drifting starts in
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday you'll have it.
Anywho.
But yeah, so the launch. So basically by the time we placed the order, until then we're like, holy shit, we did it. This stuff's on the way, it's being made, and then we're like, okay, now comes essentially the hard part. How are we going, because like all up to this time, we didn't say a word. No one knew we were doing this. We didn't really hint at it. Like it was just like all in her, because we're like, especially because being sent home, we're like, who knows if this is gonna like happen or not? Like, let's try it.
The world might end.
Yeah, the world might end. But we're God forbid we don't try something while we're locked up in our houses, because some people took up hobbies. We took up a wheel brand.
We took up a hobby of making money.
Well, and so fast forward to. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
You're good.
Come back to where I was. So wheels are being made. Like, all right, what do we do? We got to figure out how we're going to announce everything. Obviously, Fitment Industries, solid following, big platforms to do so.
Yeah.
That's what we were focusing on. So we made all like social media accounts for Artisa Wheels. Started like teasing some stuff here and there as we got closer to the launch date, which was end of November. So it was right around Thanksgiving, I believe, is when we officially like launched like Artisa, and said like, okay, unveiling 2021.
Yep.
But yeah, we wanted to do this like big grand unveiling. So we looked at things like, what does Apple do? They're a huge, when you look at marketing inspiration, obviously some of the people who do it the best, like them or not, They do some absolutely killer marketing.
They kill it, yeah.
And so like they do like these big like keynote announcement videos. I'm like, yo, what if we did some sort of like live event on the Fitment Industries like unveiling that we made our own freaking wheels.
Big announcement.
And it went incredible. It was such a cool like build up to like, you know, see all of like the work beforehand of like, you know, building the website and building out those social medias and like teasing those little things and kind of like building that backstory and kind of like, you know, little conspiracy about like what FI was up to and just finally being able to announce that and show that to everyone was absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And then, so you announced it, and what was next?
So basically we announced it, and that was in November. And we said that, okay, we got stuff in the works. We had the samples there to show everybody, but we didn't have any actual like product in stock ready to go.
Just the samples.
Yep. So essentially, the next part was like, we let people know that yes, it's not here yet, but we can start. Did we do pre-order? I can't remember if we did.
I wasn't here.
I can't remember if we did pre-order because it was a big debate of whether or not we want to do pre-order.
You guys did.
I don't think we did.
You didn't?
I don't think we did.
Oh, okay. Oh no, you didn't.
No.
I remember, yes.
We didn't do pre-order when we said, hey, we're launching, wheels will be available in January. And then January came, and then February came, and then March came. And then April we got like our first container. So that hurt.
Yeah.
Honestly, it did. We thought we had everything planned out. Again, state of the world, manufacturing, shipping.
And you're trying to talk about your brand.
And that's the thing is like we're trying to you know, keep people excited about it because at this point, we announced everything in like November.
Yeah.
And here it is in like February, March of like the next year.
Remember us?
We're coming up on like a full year of like since the beginning of everything. We're like, oh God, we're like, you know, we're losing. And honestly, we did lose out on a little bit of that hype. And then and it's just a learning curve. Like,
we learned
how could we have predicted?
We learned really well from that.
Yeah, we did. So, yeah, we're never going to fall into that same trap again. I feel like we're talking really bad about ourselves. But no, it's just literally like a lot of like outside forces affecting, the way that it is. It's just like the
world's been weird for a few years.
Yeah. It just keeps getting weirder. So, I mean, yeah, it was really just like the factories were shut down.
Yeah.
They get hit with like COVID cases. Factories shut down for weeks.
Well, and it was it's sporadic too, because the way that they would go about it is different than now. Now it's like if anyone in the factory gets COVID, factory shuts down. Now they shut down the province.
Yes.
So even if wheels they have completed, they can't
get anything out.
Yeah.
And that was another issue too, is just shipping. I remember like the ports were packed. You had containers and you had ships just sitting on
stuff
port
was
for like
backlogged.
weeks. So it was like it was there, but we couldn't get it out of the water. And then we would finally get a container. And this is where the directional stuff really bit us in the ass.
This is so funny.
Because we would get a container, we're like, guys, we got a whole shipment of elders in.
And
they're
guess what?
all lefts.
And you can't make a set of 4.
Make a set of 4 with all lefts. And they're like, okay, well, when's the next container with rights supposed to be in it? And it's like, well, there's another container with like 50 lefts and 5 rights coming in 2 weeks. And we're like, oh my God. That is really what prolonged the majority of it, because we had wheels. We had a ton of wheels, but no sets of wheels.
Yeah.
And that was, again, another learning curve. Who would have thought that would have been as big of an issue that it was? But you know what? We freaking did it. We played it day by day, week by week. We planned stuff out. We had to pivot to pretty much everything that we could, because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
In a newer business in the 2020s, you have to be able to pivot like that and make those sacrifices and stuff the way that we did. But yeah, we made it through that, and that went good until that next summer.
Yeah.
When you came on board.
Yeah, it's because of me.
Everything just went all crazy.
It was all crazy. So I came in March.
Yes.
And part of my job, Artisa was not part of it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I was working with Anthem and Archon.
Yep.
And then about a month later, Mari was like, hey, Anovia or Artisa, it's yours. I was like,
cool, I'm a car guy anyway.
Yeah, I like cars, so cool. So I came over and was like learning what we were doing, what we're going through, and it was like right away. And one thing we looked at is, if you guys have been following us for a while, how we talk about ourselves and our imagery and stuff. It's really different to what we do now. And we realized we're trying to be someone that we're not.
Yep.
And we're a little bit aspirational of what we're trying to do. And we realize, all right, let's get a little bit more realistic. Like, well, not, I shouldn't say realistic, a little bit more like down to earth, because we're all very down to earth people. And
and that was really eye opening, because I remember, and I think we kind of knew that from the beginning, but like, it was a COVID dream. Like it was, it
You're
really
in a
where it all
vacuum.
started. Yeah, it was like you're so disconnected from everything. It's like, I think this is the right thing to do, but until like it's actually there and doing stuff, you don't really know. So we did see that. We saw that right away. We were talking like in like the whole like story, which is super cool about like artists and Anovia, like if the whole like artistic style and references and stuff. I absolutely love that. I think it's
still
a super
something
cool.
we do to this day.
It's a super cool thing to like know about it.
Like the naming of the treble Kano, it's still with it.
Absolutely, but I don't think it needed to be the entirety that it was, because it was literally in every piece of content. It was like, it had to be like an art quote.
It hit
had to be
hard.
It was like we're like, we need to sound like this high end brand because our wheels are like high end. It's like, yeah, we did put a lot of time and effort in our wheels, but at the end of the day, they're $1,000 set of wheels.
Yeah.
So like, why are we marketing as like a $5,000 set?
Like you guys, like who's buying our wheels? Who's running the wheels? It was guys like us.
Yeah, because like I'd look at our posts, I'm like, I don't talk like that. And Sam, you did that too. It's like, I don't talk like that. I don't read stuff like that. So we were like, we made these wheels for us. We made because we're enthusiasts.
Yeah.
We want to sell them and get them out to you guys who are enthusiasts like us. Like, we're gonna talk to you guys like us. Like,
and then we wanted to do cool shit, and we're like, "What's cool?" And we're like, drifting.
Drifting sounds neat.
So hooked up Colin.
Yeah, he was like really our first like motorsport.
Yeah.
Like person that we went after and got hooked up with that and really saw like them in action. For the first time.
And I remember. I had been going to Club FR for drifting events, and like I knew Colin's car from that because it's kind of hard to like not miss that.
It's a pretty loud car.
Yeah,
in multiple senses.
Yeah, loud, volume, tire smoke. But I was like, all right, like let's get you guys out there. Let's go film stuff. And I still remember the first time that like Josh came out and filmed it, and I was sitting on grid, and I was like, I can't believe we're filming someone who's on our wheels on this track right now. And so it's crazy. And that's like, I won't say explode. It has exploded. We have a guy in Formula Drift. That's going to have our wheels in a couple days. Like,
we got people.
Competition.
We got Mike Power on the wheels. We got people like Stradman. We hooked up with the multi-piece. Like, that is insane.
That all started at a track in Shawano. Of like, here's where we're starting.
I think that was really the moment that I know clicked for me. It was like,
because you came out to come like hang out and check it out.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is it. This is what I want to do as now Anovia. Like, this is what I want to go after. Just like that down to earth, like enthusiast style of just cars and builds and what we do as enthusiasts, whether that's show or track. And it's like, our wheels can do both.
100%.
Let's do that.
And that's when we started to like evolve a bit as a brand, and to jump a little bit forward, that evolution really came in. We're like, hey, what about non-directional wheels? And then it's like, well, I know it's for artisan. Like the whole name change thing, like really.
Because there was so much coming at once. Because I remember like pitching it to Alex. I'm like, Alex, I don't want to talk like this anymore. He's like, what do you mean you want to talk like this? This is what artist is. I'm like, yeah, I also don't want to do directional wheels forever. And he's like, what do you mean you don't want to do directional wheels? That's what artist is. I'm like, well, what if we change the name? He's like, yo, what? So that's really where all that stemmed from.
And we're going to do a triangle wheel.
Yeah. Oh, that about sent him over the edge.
That was crazy.
That's right. He's all on board now. He saw it and he loves it. So.
Yeah. Everything seemed like such, like, it. Right now, it's like, it was crazy.
It was like, it really did, when we say it, like, it was an evolution. It really was. And it wasn't.
Oh, yeah. And we were like, we're going to do multi-piece as well.
Yeah, multi-piece. We're just going to do everything. We're like, everything that we couldn't do at the beginning, we're going to do now because it went so well at the beginning. So,
but, I mean, truthfully, though, like, we started gaining so much momentum as a brand.
Yes.
And I was like, man, like, here, this is what you guys are saying. Like, when are you guys going to do multi-piece? When are you going to do non-directional? All this stuff.
Because that was the biggest thing that we wanted. We wanted to listen to you guys and obviously, listen to the people that want to buy your wheels.
Yeah.
Listen to what they want.
We read every message, like to this day.
Like last summer was like the big, okay, we got stuff.
Yep.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
we can do way better.
We kind of found ourselves a little bit.
It was literally like we went through like our middle school phase. We're finding ourselves like who are we really? And honestly, that was so fun because like looking back at it now, as stressful as this last year has been with the whole evolution to Anovia and everything that we've done.
Dude, last summer was.
I remember coming in like every morning, be like, Sam, did you sleep last night? And Sam's like, no.
Well, that's because I was probably painting my car too.
Well, that too. Yeah, you were trying to fix it.
Like Jealous and I legitimately would talk about how we couldn't sleep because we'd wake up and we'd be like,
a panic. I didn't order those.
I didn't order this. Like,
or that was the wrong bolt pattern.
And just crazy stuff because we care. Like that's what it comes down to. So
it's literally
we care so much about this.
It did take up my whole life. And still does to this day, but a little less. But
what we knew. Well, once we kind of knew we wanted to do an evolution, we had a date picked out.
Yep.
That date moved a little bit.
Like 4 times.
Yeah, because we just wanted to do it right.
Wanted to do more stuff.
And we had so much we wanted to do. And I remember going through the whole rebrand process, or not rebrand, sorry, evolution of the brand. And when we finally did it, and we filmed it, and like we launched it.
It felt so good.
And it was so cool to see the reaction.
It honestly, I mean,
it couldn't have gone any better.
I know we've said this before too, but literally the reaction, like as good as it felt to, like you said, just get it done with and like see everything out there and finally like say everything. It was the reaction from our audience that made it so much worth it. It was you guys like in the comments answering questions for us. Like we were trying to keep up with comments, and you guys were in there answering before we could. It's like, oh yeah, like they did this because of this. And we're like, thank you guys so much. Like that honestly is what means the world to us, because it's like that showing that you guys do care that much. It's like it makes it all worth it at the end of the day. That the time and effort and money that we've put into it. That there are people out there that truly care. And so, like, seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
It was so cool just to see someone ask a question and then one of our like ambassadors would jump in there and answer for us. And it was like,
and they're like, oh, okay, thanks. Like
that's so cool, and it made it fun. The Kano and treble, I think, kind of stole the show a little bit.
I feel like we get to have fun with it now. It's like we've got our name out there, which is like the biggest thing that we wanted to accomplish. Like get the name out there, prove who we are, because that is the biggest thing I would say if you're looking at starting a wheel company in 2022 or just in general, like right now, it's like you have to. It's so, it's with the internet and how quickly people are to like approve or cancel things. It's like super scary and it's a very fine line you have to follow. And it's like, I feel like we did it. Yeah. I feel like, we have our voice out there. People know who we are, or like enough to like, kind of like go on this journey with us, that we get to truly start having fun with it now. And getting those sizes out there that people want, doing crazy stuff like the multi-piece and
chrome
and the 3-piece and the 3-spoke and the chrome and, all the other stuff that we're working on. Like, that's where it gets to be super, super fun. We worked hard, now we get to play hard, kind of thing.
And it's cool because a lot of this stuff now is basically in the works, and we're just waiting for it to get here.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff coming.
Yeah, and we listen to you guys more than anything. Like, we have our own ideas, but sometimes we test our ideas, and we just ask you guys, and they're like, "Well, you hated that." I was like, "Okay, all right, we're not gonna do that." Like I thought, so we put a poll out there for the Titan. We want to do a new finish, and I thought that highlighter green.
I thought that was going to take it.
It was going to walk away with
like,
it.
No, white. Yeah, I'm like, all right, we'll do white.
And I remember talking with Alex, and he's like, "There's no way, like people aren't going to want that because they get dirty and blah blah." And we're like, "Yep, we agree."
No one wants white wheels. They want crazy colors. Like, all right, we'll ask them. He's like, all right.
You guys want white wheels?
White just blew it out of the water.
I'm like, all right, cool. We'll do that. So we've got them. They should be here. Like, if you're listening to this right when it comes out,
it should be like
a month or so.
Yeah.
So it's been cool. I mean, the other things that you guys don't see that are happening behind the scenes. We have a whole team, like shout out Greg and Mike, for managing inventory and ordering.
Because that is a huge part of that. I mean, it's like. It wouldn't be possible without the team that we have behind it. And I know there's so many people behind the scenes. Like, as much as like I'd love to say, it's just me, Sam, and Josh and Casey, there's
a lot.
And some of the FI guys. It's
the whole
so
web
much
team
more.
that makes our website work.
Yeah,
and
it's so much more than that. I mean, even just going through, when we were going through the evolution, all of the web changes and stuff that you need to do, and
it went
how much
flawlessly.
time, not just designing the wheels and making sure that the factory was doing the right thing, or that the wheels were on the way, of just making sure our website was good, and that team had everything that they needed, because it's a lot.
That's a big job, and all the guys at FI, because we they talk about us a lot too. It's like it's a whole team effort, and it's huge, and it's something where we keep things going, and it's as we're selling things, like what other bolt patterns do we need, what other sizes do we need. Gels spends a lot of time looking at, all right, the new Supra, what fits that? 20s. Then Gel's like, actually, it's more like 19s.
Yeah.
And figuring out what the sizes are. And then work with Greg and Mike and the factories on getting samples here, which actually there's a ton of them sitting over there right now that Gels has been reviewing and going through those samples. Like, it's weighing every wheel to make sure it's the right weight. Like, there's so much that happens that we do because we care.
Yes.
And we could do way less, and it'd be way easier.
Like I said at the beginning, we could have just took the easy route, and we decided not to, because why go the easy route? Like, I wouldn't have wanted the wheels that would have been the easy route.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I would want to run our own wheels. It's like, oh, well, you just run Anovias because it's like, no, I run Anovias because I freaking love them, and I know all the stuff that's gone into them.
Yeah, and like I'm proud of like what we have, and that's why I'm looking forward to running them. If they can hurry up shipping them over here, it'd be great. But that is why I'm excited about it. Is not because like, oh, you work there. If I didn't work here, it's like I still think they're sick, and the work that goes into it.
Yeah, it was really fun too, because like I never designed a wheel before. I'll be honest. I was like, I don't have the skill set for that. Like I said, I can run CAD programs. I can kind of make ideas into a 3D sketch and stuff like that. But when I was doing like the carrier, and Alex was like, you have an FRS. What wheels would you make for your FRS? And I was like, well, it kind of looked like this. He's like, cool, make it. I was like, okay. He's like, now, get other opinions on it. So I pulled some people, from like our Wisconsin like 86 club and stuff like that. I was like, hey, I have something to show you. And I kind of played it off like, oh, Fitment Industries going to bring this like Rebrand, like, They sent us some designs. What do you think of it? Like, so like it wasn't just like, oh, you're my friend, I'm going to say something nice. It was like, hey, like this company reached out to us. What do you think of these wheels? And like got like that raw feedback from the community and like what we wanted, and that was a huge part of it too, because I literally went to you guys.
Yeah, and it's really mind blowing right now to see where our wheels are, what they're doing. So like, I'm going to toot our own horn because we deserve it. So this weekend, Mike Power's going to have our wheels on his Formula Drift car.
Yep.
It's the highest level of drifting in the United States, and absolutely insane competition and hard on equipment.
Yeah.
And then the Stradman, he's got our multi-piece wheels. Yeah. He just posted a video about it. That one post on Instagram, over 100,000 likes.
C8 nonetheless, like,
it's crazy. We had Alex's Ferrari at SEMA.
Yeah.
The first year that we were a company.
It was actually within the first year that we were officially like launching everything, and actually before we even announced that we were doing all that.
Yeah, before we announced Anovia, Alex had Anovia Wheels at SEMA, and
everyone's like, I
couldn't believe how many people didn't like comment more about that.
Yeah, I feel like they did. They were like, they'll probably tell us soon, right? Or like, I don't know. That was crazy, because I'm like, I was so upset, because I'm like, Alex, we have worked so hard to keep this whole thing under wraps, and you're literally just bringing the car to SEMA on the wheels. I'm like, are you nuts? He's like, well, do you not want your wheels at SEMA? I'm like, are they even our wheels at this point? Because we're not announcing anything. And he's like,
they had Artisan center caps.
No, they had Anovia center caps.
Anovia,
yeah, and he had Anovia printed on the side of the car.
That's right.
So that was super interesting.
So we had a car at SEMA.
It turned out fine.
Yeah, it turned out great.
Yeah.
And then, there's other stuff too. Just seeing our wheels pop up on TikToks. Like I sent you one the other day.
Yeah.
Where this dude was looking at a Cadillac. He's like, yo, look at this. And I was like, those are Titans. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, on a Cadillac of all things too.
And
it's like
that dude in blue did a review on a new FRS.
Yeah, Brandon, he's got that new BRZ.
One of our ambassadors.
Yep.
BRZ, not FRS.
Yeah, it's on the carriers. Looks super good. You got Cadell over in Japan, which we really need to get on here. Because he's such a cool guy, and like he's living over in Japan. He's got S15. He's got the Knights on it. He does some crazy stuff over there. Like you said, they're so cool to see like what they pop up on and what we've been able to get them on.
Yeah.
And within like a year and a half.
It's things that other companies that I think would have been able to do this haven't been able to do. Mm-hmm. And it's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, oh my God, it feels like it's been 5 years and it's been a year and a half, 2 years, I guess. Really, really, it's been about 2 years since like the start of everything, which is really crazy.
But the future's super bright, and it's so cool to see that trajectory. It's been fun. We have such a good team and right team to do this, and the community has just been so good.
Exactly.
And grown so much.
I mean, if you're wondering out there what it takes to start a wheel company, it's a lot. It truly is a lot of work, and I don't want to say that in like a bragging sense of like, oh, look how hard we worked on our wheel company. It's like, no, look at how much work is involved, because I know that's like a dream of some people. So it was a dream. I would have never thought, like,
oh, dude, yeah, as a car
guy, designing wheels,
wheel company would be so
and like
cool.
Seeing, it's, I like literally like, like yell and point anytime I see a set of like Anovias running down the road. I'm like, yo, like,
dude,
my wife's just like, can you not yell? Like, they can't hear you because like we're in our car, and I'm like, but that was sick. Did you see that?
I know.
RSX on Titans. I'm like,
I'll never forget the time at a drift event, pulling up to my pit spot, and I was exhausted. I needed to change some tires because the event was close to done. I wanted to get back out there. I pull in the spot, and there's a car sitting, like not a drift car, sitting in my spot. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get out of the way. And I get out of my car, and I was like, who is this? And I walk over, and they've got Anovias. And I was like, all right.
I can't be mad anymore.
I can't be mad anymore. This is pretty sick. Like, this is so crazy that this is happening.
No, it is really surreal to see, and it's super cool, and very grateful for the opportunity to be able to do something like this. So it's like, if you're out there and you're wondering, like, what does it take to do this? And honestly, it's a lot of work. Get a good team with you, and it's like, it's just know that it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Yeah. There's a lot of sweat equity, but there's also a lot of money.
Yeah.
That goes into
I mean, I don't think it had to be the extent that it was for us, like launching right out of the gate. Obviously, it did help us with, stuff right away. But yeah, it is a lot, and be able to not only like get the inventory, but like the time invested, and then like you have to hold that somewhere and
you have to market it too.
And market it, yeah,
and then ship it.
And we did, that's a lot.
It's crazy, but there's a ton of people behind the scenes that I wish you guys knew who their names. But
I wish they got more credit.
Yeah,
I wish there was a way to give them more credit, but like
it's
web,
crazy.
From web to
supply chain,
marketing to supply chain to the people that our social media people who just are answering comments and messages, and Josh and Casey were creating content, and even Michael, when he Mike started with us at the beginning and he transferred over to FI, but he was out there shooting a ton. I remember like when we were just getting started, like it was like we'd get a wheel sample and it's like, we need everything today,
right now. Yeah. and like all of you guys and like our ambassadors out there, the kind of the ride or die group that we know you comment all the time, and it's so cool to see the same people comment over and over again. That's what makes it happen and really makes us drive forward is you guys, and just seeing those comments and all the positivity. It's fun, and it makes us want to just do even bigger and better stuff. And that's what we're doing. So.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to obviously we talk about getting the cars out and drifting for the first time.
We got a straight up squad now.
Yeah, it's as literally as Chessie gang rolling up here, like 4 of them on the Anovia team now. Me, you, Anna, and Josh.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's gonna be crazy.
It's like literally KA versus SR too. It's like 2 and 2.
Dude,
We'll see who comes out.
KA is gonna be less stressful.
We'll see who comes out this season on top. But
we'll just see whose car's still running.
That too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to this summer, and I just look at all the things that have happened so far, and honestly, thanks to you guys and the connections we've made with people, large and small.
It's crazy.
I enjoy every second of it.
Same. This was a fun one. That's cool.
It was cool to kind of look back and think of just like, oh my God, I hope I never have to go through that again, because.
But we're gonna do it again.
Anyway, and I know I'm gonna fall for the same old tricks. So. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy this one. This was a fun one for me, and I'm sure it's a fun one for you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Don't forget to give us a like, a follow, whatever it is or you're listening to this on, if it's YouTube, Spotify, whatever. Make sure to go follow our socials, Anovia Wheels on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. Go drop us a like on Facebook and stuff like that. It helps a ton too. And of course, check out Wheels, AnoviaWheels.com. We're always doing some crazy stuff. So a lot more to come this year.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.